Hey, I'm Matthew, and I just wanted to jump on and do a little video around emotional awareness and how that can be massively life-changing, especially for men. We're not used to connecting with our emotions or being emotional. When we're younger, we're told that we're not emotional, or we're not as emotional as women. We're often told not to cry. We've got to show that strength. We've got to be strong. We've got to be that leader. We've got to be that provider. And we're not taught how to or why to connect with our emotions. And it's such an important subject. When we're aware of what our emotions are and what our trigger points are, it can be a completely transformational experience. Your relationships with yourself will improve. Your relationships with partner, with family, with staff can change dramatically. When we understand our emotions and we understand where they're coming from and why we're experiencing them, it then gives us a chance to change that. And there's some really, really effective tools and very, very simple to help us deal with our emotions in that moment. When somebody says something to us, we have that reaction, and the tendency is to then speak out or defend ourselves. If we feel like we're being attacked or we're being insulted, we tend to come back with like retaliation. When actually, if we just take a moment and we take a breath and we acknowledge how we're feeling and why we're feeling like that, it gives us a huge amount of clarity around different situations. So rather than just react, we can then bring it back inside, work out what's going on for us, and then respond in a very different way. So if you take the example of I'm driving down the motorway and somebody cuts me up, generally the first thing we do is we'll tense up, we'll hold our breath. And what that does is that causes us to suppress the first emotion that we felt, which was fear. When that car cut me up, I was fearful for my life. They could have taken me out. I had children in the back. They could have harmed me. They could have harmed my children. But generally what we do is in that moment, we'll hold our breath. And then you'll find, you see it a lot on the roads today, road rage. Next thing you're doing is winding down the window and suggesting their parents weren't married. What we did in that situation is we projected the anger out because we were angry at that person, at what happened, rather than bring it back into self and go, actually, I was really scared in that moment. And that fear for my life made me angry. And that's what I projected out, rather than bringing it back into self and going, whoa, that was a really scary situation. I thought I may have died. I may have been injured in that situation, which then, of course, brings up anger. And then we project it out at somebody else. And the truth is, it wasn't personal. That person wasn't driving down the road and saw you and thought, right, I'm going to cut them up. Yet we take it personally. And we react on those emotions and project them out to other people, when actually we can bring it inside and deal with the emotional situation, which is taking a breath and go, whoa, that was scary. I nearly got hit. I was fearful of my life. My children could have been injured, whatever it is. And then it's acknowledging the anger, that you're angry at that situation because you were put in danger. But then you can work through it and go, did they do that on purpose? No. Because if they were doing that on purpose, they probably would have taken you out. So what it does is it allows you to take the sting out of that situation and go, okay, well, that person probably just lost their concentration for a brief moment, which we all do on the road, which then makes it okay. It takes it from a less personal situation into something that just happens, and we're able to deal with the emotions and not project it out, but also not to hold on to it. So we're not thinking 15 hours later, oh, if I had wound the window down and I had said this and I had said that, then the situation would have been different, or they would have acknowledged me. Any of that stuff. It's just we're able to deal with those emotions, we're able to regulate ourselves, and then we're able to move on. And this can be very, very important, especially within our personal lives, within our businesses, with our staffs, is being able to regulate their emotions. So we're not acting on reaction. We're actually coming from a place of understanding and peace, You'll learn to understand yourself more. You'll understand your staff. You'll understand your family situations, and it will deepen your relationships, not just with yourself, but with everybody else. And that understanding and that connection, it reduces stress, which is something that everybody experiences. So it reduces stress, it reduces our kind of volatile situations. It can prevent burnout, because that constant stressing will create a burnout.